Holy hot chocolate. Ooh, my next guest fulfills those fantasies that some of you guys have about really smart, naughty nurses. She's also one of the first adult film stars that's African American and alternative. At least she's the first one I've seen, but she's drop dead gorgeous. She has her own space downtown in this huge studio that used for like really cool shoots. There's like Coco Chanel section, a 90s video. Anyway, look, what am I doing? Just watch the interview or listen to it if you're on the podcast. Let's welcome Miss Ebony Mystique. So I'm so happy you could join me today. So my special guest is Ebony Mystique. I was extremely excited in having her on here because being partially of color myself, I love having brunettes on here. I like everyone, but especially when it's people of different ethnicities. And you have a very interesting story yourself. Weren't you just in the Urban X Awards?
I was. And
Mhm.
hello, thank you for having me. You're so beautiful. I really
Thank
appreciate the
you.
time. So yeah, I was just at the Urban X Awards and wow, what a weekend.
Yeah, it
It
looked
was
really,
star-studded.
it looked super busy. Like I saw all the photos from there. And how did you even get into this business? Because you're gorgeous and obviously you're smart. I mean, this woman was doing wardrobe on TV shows. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically kind of the same way I got into fashion designing is just who you know, like connections. So I had known legendary porn star Pinky Triple X and her videographer Jeremy for a very long time. He also got awarded this year in the Hall of Fame at Urban X, but for a very long time, and they weren't paying me no mind when I used to joke, I guess, subconsciously about being able to do porn or what they do. But COVID was a really bad time for nurses and just the world and the patients and people. And I was nursing with this whole thing. And it was kind of depressing in my job. It was kind of didn't know which way we were going to go with the world. It just got crazy as we seen, right? But I was a frontliner in the beginning. So it was just really uncertain. But I hit up Pinky again and I'm like, yo, I don't know if you heard about Corona because that's what they were calling it at that time. But girl, we might have to be staying in the house. And everybody was like, what? She was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, but then she kind of, I guess, took me seriously at that point and gave me a shot on her site. And my first two scenes went pretty viral. My third scene went very viral, and here we are now. That was 3 years ago. I just celebrated my porn birthday yesterday.
Woo! Happy
3 years.
birthday. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
young.
been a wild, fun, creative time.
Now, wait a second. You said you were nursing. So, what people don't know about me is that I work with medical briefly with IV infusions, mobile.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
I ran a company for a while, but that's a
that's amazing.
thanks. It
People
was
be needing those mobile nurses, guys. Like when you
yeah.
out, especially in Las Vegas, and in those hot times in the summer when you're out fist pumping and partying to Drake's new album, you need those nurses. So it's definitely important to. Wow, that's amazing. And the funny part about this, which I just thought about, like think about Halloween, which is coming up. Those girls always want to be those naughty nurses. So that, like kind of where this came.
But you
I
are.
guess I'm really a naughty nurse.
No, you really are. I don't think like none of the nurses I work with look like you. I'm just saying this. So, what type of nursing were you like in a senior citizen home? Because you get a heart attack or something.
I did. I did do some of that. Actually, I was pretty well rounded about the time that I actually kind of retired from the medical field. But I did convalescent home nursing, and at that point, you are more administrative. I was a charge nurse. I worked in corrections. I worked in psychiatric, neuro. I was pretty well rounded. But when I ended, I was in the call center because I just got off the floor of the unit because imagine how things were. And it was almost like kind of God saying, not that I didn't want to continue on with the critical care patients and the corona. It was a very strange time and it was very bad. And so I had forgotten that I even applied to the call center at my job and it came up that I got like an interview during this whole I was like, what? So I went over to advice call nursing. And that's like if you were to call, I don't know, your doctor's office before you get an appointment or give advice over the phone. and give the disposition. So that's what I was doing. And then now here I am doing adult. And
Yeah.
OnlyFans is what made me kind of like, okay, I absolutely can do this. Because after my first scenes, even though they were viral, I still was at work, kind of shy at work, like, but I was still nursing. By
Yeah.
my third scene, I was done. I had retired.
I was gonna say you're probably making like way more money doing that. And what was your first experience like? Is it everything it was supposed to be? Because
It was
everyone's got really bad
amazing.
experiences and good ones.
Right? So, first of all, I don't think there's enough money that you could pay or charge like a frontliner, like a person, like a firefighter, a police officer, if you think of it, good ones. You know, all people can be bad, but in all these fields, but you know what I mean, lawyers or that fight for people, you know what I mean? So the money never really kept me because I would probably leave. It was more like the when I got home and you kind of try to, which some people say don't bring work at home, but like, what could I do? In a good way, though. Like, I felt real commendable. Like, dang, I kind of saved lives today. Like, that's amazing. But it did quite often, it did not work as my changes because some of my, I don't know, my beautifications, I'm totally into glam and things like that. That's totally the wrong field for that kind of thing. Like, if a doctor was to be like, oh, Mimi, you know, you look, which is my name outside of porn, you look amazing. You're beautiful today. That could be like sexual harassment. Like you want somebody to tell you that, but it's just totally not the work field. So my first day on set, I totally gave glam and I totally was comfortable because I shot with Jeremy and it was for Pinky Sight. And it was like, I was almost like, I don't think they think I can do this type of thing. Like I know I got the look, but let me show them I can. And my body did some things that I did not. Wow. And you know what really helped? That's what helped the environment. I think that's really important. My performer, my male co-star Rob Piper, was really professional, amazing. Jeremy was amazing, the director. I just felt amazing. I felt comfortable, and it was all safe. Like I got tested like 2 or 3 days before. I checked his test. I was like, okay. Me being a nurse, you know.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, the first time I ever worked doing a film, it was really scary because this is really like I sound so stupid, but I thought that Peter North was a blonde because I saw this porn film when I was 16. At the end credits, the dipshit, like doing the credits, mixed up the names. He put Peter North under Randy Quaid.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. You're
I'm
like,
thinking it's this
oops.
hot blonde guy because I love blondes. That's like my
Me
weakness.
too.
Yeah, right. Big, tall, blonde guys that just like throw
Give
me.
me like Huntington Beach surfer, but like with
Thank
money.
you.
Yeah, like you own the beach house, kind of.
You
Like
gotta
that.
thank you. That is the difference, and not from your parents' money either.
Please, I don't want to be a beach bum with you, but you know the ones that we like. Yeah, yeah. Totally, I get it.
Exactly. It's what you have. It's what you do on your own. But I thought this whole time that it was, it was the wrong person though, nonetheless. So it was very insulting. Um, which brings me to the next thing. So the third time you're going into this, what was that like? And did you just decide this is what you're gonna do and like you hung up your nurse coat?
I did because the first 2 times I was masked, but I was a masked character. They actually took it down because I was hounding them because somebody at my job had kind of let me know that they saw it. And how they recognized me was by my tattoos and my jewel, like the way I was dressed, like my body structure, like, and they know, like, some people knew the affiliation between me and Pinky, like, hello, what are you doing? I was like, oh, shoot, this is exactly what they said that was going to happen, which was the best advice I think I can tell anyone and everyone. Jeremy, I mentioned that once you do this shit, you can't take it back. So we're gonna give you a shot, but just be clear as to what you're doing. And then on such a big platform as Pinky Triple X, like people are gonna see this. And lo and behold, they did, and I got all scary. So initially she did respect my wishes, but then I guess she kept getting emails like, who's the girl in the mask? Who's the girl in the mask? Like, and she's like, look, bitch, check it out. We're gonna have to talk about this, whatever's going on, because they know, and we need to shoot you again. And this time we want you to come take the mask off. I'm like, oh my God. At that point, it was just like, you know what? If you start something, that's the kind of person I am. If I start something, I complete it. That's how I know if I failed or succeeded or not. Got to get to completion. Not halfway through and be like, oh, I did that, didn't work. No, no, I'm going to see it all the way through. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just fuck it. And really, the OnlyFans, the monetization I seen from what I had done financially being stable in that way, I was like, hell, I thought it was illegal. I was like, is this money okay to spend? Like, what's going on? I was able to leave my career, as a nurse, because even me doing fashion design, working with some really A-listers, it's like asking me before, would you leave nursing? I'll be like, no, maybe I'll go like when I get really successful, like maybe once or twice a month. The minimum that they ask you to be a nurse in a hospital, which is like per diem. But I will never leave nursing, like my benefits, that mindset. But I was like, oh my gosh. And I was at 43% tax bracket as a nurse. So to see like, wait, you can own your own business and like write like my hair styling off, my makeup that I'm going for shooting. I like this ownership and independent life a little better.
Yeah, that brings
So
I'm sorry. It's this thing with coffee, so I don't know.
I love coffee.
I know, espresso, yeah. But it just brings me to another thing. So I hate to say this, but it's like sometimes with me, I'll go all over the place, but you'll see what happens if
I'm right with you. I
what we're
got
talking
you.
about. Are you a Scorpio, by the way?
Oh my gosh, I'm a cuffs. I'm a Scorpio Sag. I'm born 11/23 at like 1 a.m. in the morning. So I just left Scorpio in the Sag. So I'm a cuffs. I
Yeah,
have it. Are you?
I'm a Scorpio. I'm the
Yeah,
1020.
yeah, see? We're sisters. I get it. I'm like right with you. I'm all over it with you. Let's go.
Because some of the stuff you said makes a lot of sense, where finally you have your own ownership. You don't have to worry about benefits for health insurance. You can buy your own. But I watched Rock of Love. So for people listening and watching, because this does go up on YouTube at some point, she actually worked on Rock of Love in the wardrobe department. Now I saw a few seasons of that. Okay. And you get this is going to sound really bad, but it's me saying this, so it doesn't make a difference. I could be an asshole sometimes. There's so many girls I feel that wish they probably had they probably might have your drive, but they don't have your stride to go forward and walk that walk and do it and become their own CEO, become their own boss. So you watch something like Rock of Love, every other freaking girl in there, no, I gave up my career and my everything else to have a family. And no, 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 it's because you had no career. And there's this term I just learned from a nurse I worked with recently.
Look, nurses all over the place.
Right? No, but she used the term homie hopper, right? And it's like
Mm.
when you see a lot of these girls, that's what it reminds me of. Like you're trying to do this, but like you're too busy homie hopping to actually go and do something and make something of yourself. Am I wrong in thinking that was the mentality of so many girls? Like they hooked up with these guys, like let's say Rockstar or whomever, thinking that they're going to produce their album. Like you got to have talent to actually do that. Am I right in thinking this, or have I totally lost you?
No, I feel like it just is like the person, because I feel like some men are like that too. Like they be looking for women to kind of, I think it's really about, and to think that a guy they'll do for their kid if they a good guy. And the law don't even work like that. It goes where if you get impregnated by a celebrity and you're not a celebrity, they're going to rule in his favor as far as how much he needs to pay to you, which means they're going to look at your income. And if you don't have the income and the needs that he has to get $30,000 a month for a baby, maybe the judge rules that you done submitted all your stuff. We see everything you live by. You bought $3,000 a month, baby. He could be a multimillionaire, and he's gonna give you 3,000. So you still have to have a job. So to think about your life for a child. That's why God, I think, be doing what he does to certain people and certain women and men, because their intentions are wrong. Using a pregnancy or a baby to trap somebody into a luxury lifestyle. I feel like you just gotta go ahead and know who you are and get it. Like that's just period. Like people be all over the place with who they are, what they really want. Everybody want to have money. But the question is like, how much? They don't even know. Or like, what you gonna do with it when you get it? You know, and I just I'm a firm believer that like in due time, like everything, like if God gonna give you everything you need when you supposed to have it. Otherwise, it's gonna ruin the hell out you. Like you just gonna be a hot mess with it, you know? So people just don't see themselves through. They just want to do a million things. And I don't know, one thing at a time and really, really focus on you. Comparing yourself to people too much, I think. Maybe looking at that girl like, oh, look at her. But he loved that girl. That's why that girl got that Birkin. You don't know their story. But just because you done jumped in bed with him and you think that you got a one song or a 40-inch wig on, whatever, and he gone a BBL or not, natural, whatever you got you strutting and thinking like that's forever, you got to come with more than just body. You got to have talent. Like you said, some pizzazz, something about you that's special. And that's another thing that Pinky and Jeremy have made me realize when I got into the industry. Let's focus on something about you other than even what we just saw, that like externally, before they Mystique, my name in itself, they gave me my name because there's so many layers about me. Externally, it's just you're fuckable. Like that was, and the boobs came from them. Like let's go bigger because the genre now is 18 but looking 16, but we're not getting into that. We want to look like old school porn sexy. No, that's a woman that we looking at having sex, not confused. Is she consented to age or, how things can be, but to each his own. Everybody likes what they like, but just come with a purpose is very important, I think, with anything you do. So these girls or even men don't know who they are.
A lot of people don't know who, what, where, why. Yeah, who and why. But it's interesting you said the thing about old school. I just had a guest on last week. My God, is this like a curse right now? So it keeps going on and on. But she said a lot of the things she shoots for her site, it's very old school, like 70s and 80s. And I feel as though maybe that's a direction we're going back into, is hitting up back into the 90s where things were like super glam. And by the way, what size are your implants now?
36 triple D.
Ouch. Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
These
no, I
things
have
are
double D.
huge.
Yeah.
And after I retire, I don't know. It's no pain, but I would like to get back to some sort of normalcy, clothes that fit me normally and like regular bras and stuff.
Not
So
throwback.
we'll see, fans. We'll see where that leads to. Because they can always press rewind.
Yeah,
it's never enough.
Yeah, that's usually not in this type of business, but you have a few things going on, and plus you're also tatted up. So what does it mean for someone like such as yourself to be ethnic and to be inducted into the whole Urban X Awards, to have all the tattoos? And did you win anything? And I feel so bad because I didn't watch
No,
it.
that's okay. I actually did win.
What'd you win?
Hottest ink star when you were just talking about my tattoos. That's funny. But that's part of being a Scorpio, very intuitive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I won Hottest Ink Star 2022 this year. Very humbling. Like, and it's more or less letting me know, even though I knew, because again, you have to be confident in yourself and what you're doing first. It's very important that I think. But that they get in where I'm trying to be given. Like the world is understanding what my assignment is, why I'm here. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. And I know that it's fan based too. Urban X Awards is totally based on fan votes and stuff. So it's very pleasant to have people like let you know that what you're doing is yes. I mean, if you give a fuck.
Yeah. If that's the
If.
big word. Yeah, we didn't have these back when we had like the AVN shows, and those were fun, but the whole goal of like being under contract back then is to spend as much money as you can of the company, the contracts. I'm not encouraging you to do that. Now, a lot of guys are going to ask,
Browser's
I
gonna
don't want to
kill
tell
me.
you. Yeah, I didn't say that. Where did most of your fans find your work? Like what websites can they go on to besides OnlyFans?
Besides OnlyFans, I'm working on my own website, number one. Let's talk about that. But beyond that, of course, you'll see a lot of me on browsers because that's where I'm exclusively contracted to. So you'll see a lot of me there, but a lot of my independent work, like I have a movie out, a movie series out. There's like 4 of my Foxy Brown scenes, as we were just talking about the 70s and the 60s
Love
again.
her. Yes.
So Foxy Brown is on Adult Empire, the VOD streaming site. So they can definitely go there to see my independent work. That's work that me and my videographer put together. And that actually was bestseller for like consecutive weeks during COVID on Adele Empire. So that was amazing in itself too. So yeah, pretty much I'm everywhere. Google.
Yeah, that's a really great thing. It's just Google. It's a crazy machine. You never think that would exist, like now, looking back. So tell us about your studio, because that was the first thing that drew me to you was A, she's gorgeous, she's tatted, she's of color, and here she is in the Urban X Awards. This is a big deal. I mean, it's such a long way we've come with these things in adult. Now, yeah, I want to know about your studio and what you're doing there.
Okay, so I decided to go ahead and open up a production studio in downtown LA. We're here actually right now.
Ooh.
Give you
Oh,
a
hey,
little.
is it in the background? Tell him to say hi. He should wave.
Oh yeah, that's my videographer. We're gonna go ahead and get to it. But there's real cute. There's about 4 different sets. We have a 90s room theme set. I don't know if you have a little time. I'll give you a little time real quick.
Oh my
But
God,
this is our 90s room.
Oh my
So
God, it's a video game.
Yep, I have a lot of not what do you call it? Let me see if I can turn my camera around so I can see. Nostalgia, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Oh my God. Barbie.
That's even the real Soaker Soaker from the 90s. So remember these guys. So this is our 90s theme room. Remember Blockbuster?
Yeah, I like video games. Oh, wait, what's a video game? Because I want to.
Oh, that's The Simpsons. That was one of my favorite games back then. So we did a little bit of cool. That's the real signed poster from the girls, Spice Girls. God. Remember Hey Arnold? And Nickelodeon.
Wow, and the phone.
And I dressed her.
Huh?
She got on a little Coogee, little Versace, you know. Yeah. She back in the 90s. Then we had Basquiat. Got Ren and Stimpy, remember them? And of course Beavis and Butthead. And then what else we have? We have our Candy Girl room.
Oh my God.
So this reminds me of like Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
So really cute. There's Simona getting some gum. I had someone make that for me. And these little bed lights. There's our little Willy Wonka golden ticket. Just little fun things. So there's our Chanel room. We have 4 theme sets. Little telephone booth.
London.
There's our mini me from Austin Powers. And this is my favorite, of course.
Ooh.
Our little Chanel room. I call this the Coco room.
Is that a Chanel umbrella?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. See, that's really different. You never see, I mean, it would take days to build really cool things like that way back when, but now you just have it under one studio.
Yes. It took a few months because I kept adding and adding, but I had just recently, it was more or less for like influencers and, you know, those kind of, but I just recently opened it up to adults. So we've had some pretty good support with that already. So I was really happy to see my people, my co-workers come in here and have fun too.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. What's the name of the studio?
Luxury Journey Studios. So Luxury Journey.
I like this. So even if you're an influencer and if you are shooting stuff, you should just go into Luxury Journey, because I'm telling you, the Chanel set is really cool. And a lot of you probably are not cool enough to ever know what a video game is, like a real video game. So you could pretend you're cool. I'm sorry, I have to say it. You could pretend you're cool. Yeah, because that's all it is. It's selling a fantasy that you know what a 90s video game is, like playing The Simpsons or before
we
that.
Had real fun.
Yeah.
I missed the 90s. So it was really fun creating that stuff.
And what was it like growing up for you? Did you want to be a nurse? Did you want to, like, what were you listening to back then? And do you from here?
Little Kim.
Love
And then
Little
when
Kim.
I wasn't supposed to be, remember those CDs you used to like, they come with a book and then you send them and maybe you get them for like $1. I don't know, so
Yeah.
many back. So I used to just order all kind of CDs, but Lil Kim was one of my favorites, and I ended up doing styling for her, which was a gag, um, and part of my fashion career. But growing up was fun. I'm from the East Coast. I was born between Connecticut and New York. It's just normal when you're from the East Coast, the Tri-City. So you get to see both, and both kind of mimic each other. And there's always fast paced and always up, and everything's always awake. And like, are you ready to go? I don't know. It's just fun. Like, seasons didn't matter. In the snow, we're outside. Out in the summer, we're outside. Like, New York is in Connecticut. The East Coast is all about like being outside, having fun. Like, I feel like Californians are super more laid back and totally into their homes, because now I'm like that. Like, I try to like get my home super comfortable so I ain't gotta go out all the time. I don't know. So growing up was just fun. Good food. Like, back home, you can travel through different states in a couple of hours. In California, you're still in California. So
Yeah.
I don't know. So many more beaches and just fun.
Yeah,
Growing
I
up was
don't think
fun.
so. We don't have Cracker Barrel here. Yeah,
Oh,
there's no
really?
Cracker
I didn't
Barrel
even
in
notice that
California.
you did.
Huh?
Wow, I didn't even look for that place. That's crazy, because I love their place. So
Yeah, it's
cute.
amazing. I mean, I had a culture shock moving out here. Did you feel like what was it that actually drew you out here, if you don't mind my asking?
Well,
Was it
my
the weather?
dad,
Oh,
he's from California.
okay.
Well, he's from Alabama, but he was living in California damn near all his life, and came out here for college and got my education for nursing here. And so I kind of just stayed because work. But I traveled back home a couple of times. It's like, okay, this is cute for like a week. Ready to go back home.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I do miss New York a lot, so I go back as often as I can. I think the pandemic, I came in right when the pandemic started. I flew back from New York City. So to this day, we don't know if I had a flu or if I had COVID, because I was walking around without a hooded sweatshirt on in the rain. And I went to Pilates and I left Pilates and I was walking around in the rain without a hoodie for like 40 minutes. Then I got sick for like
Was
2 days.
that like November, or like a little bit before the whole COVID thing, like maybe months ago, before, maybe like even a year ago,
It
before
was,
COVID hit?
yeah, it was 2020. It would be March or April.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we used to talk about that in the nurses station,
it's
just about like, because
exactly.
we're all sick with these weird fevers. We tested, it wasn't influenza. They just said it was a virus. This was way before COVID like hit, like months before. And I remember the thing that used to work was the medicine ball from Starbucks, like even like over the counter cough medicine, which they don't recommend anyway. But anyway, just something. Yeah, we were all saying, I wonder if this was COVID that we had before, because they didn't know what it was. I remember that time.
Yeah, I took like a Z pack with like vitamin C. I
Mm-hmm.
was gone in like a day. I have friends that had COVID that took it. Not that I know, I don't know the look, I'm not giving advice on COVID. I'm just saying that, some people handle it differently. Like, you just take your Z pack and your high dose of vitamin C
They do.
and don't go having sexual intercourse with strange people that look homeless or some shit. It's really that
Oh,
simple, to be quite frank with you. I mean, when they let
right.
those inmates out, that was it. I'm like, okay, so they're letting inmates out. Are they going to look like the guys in the movie Shot Caller? Is that what we're going to see? Like those,
What are we
yeah.
working with?
What are we working with? Exactly. Then you see these scrawny assholes. They're probably like pedophiles or some shit, or like low rent
Right. You
drug
weren't
dealers.
eating it
I'm like,
there.
yeah, never mind. Just go back to whatever state. You're like, you're boring. I don't want to see that.
For
But
real.
yeah, so this is really good that you have your own thing going. You really are a CEO boss babe. But what do you have? Like, what's in store for you now? Or are you just going with it? Because you seem like you've got plans, I think.
Yeah, I want to see where the adult thing will take me. I got most of my goals met already in such a short time, which is crazy, amazing. Playboy Centerfold, we're exclusive to browsers. I'm making good money. I'm having fun, which that's the most amazing thing to me about this whole thing. It's fun, and I don't even think about the money, but money is being made. More mainstream. I want to get into like more like reality TV or like movies, and people really enjoy my personality and my acting in adults. So, I can really show them what I got. And I got some good acting skills. I'm just a good, I like to be a good person. So whatever that means for everybody, like I'm totally for it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I like
I
to
work
make people
out.
laugh and feel good, and yeah. So
Well, I hope
mainstream
it works out.
things.
Yeah. Well, you had that connection with love and hip hop, so maybe like the whole concept, possibly, again, this is just me chit chatting and I've only had coffee this morning, by the way, people, or espresso, really strong espresso. The only like the whole reality based thing should be around your studio. Does that make sense? Because I'm sure you're going to
It
get characters
does.
coming in and out of there all the time.
It does. And I can't really give too many names right now, but just say one of the, or talking about a guy, somebody that everybody knows for like being the king of reality TV, has pitched a show deal with me where I'm executive producing, and it totally focuses on top adult stars, women or trans females in one residential house, and top OnlyFans models together. And we have been shooting the reel, and the trailer will be coming out this year. So there is a show kind of brewing for reality TV. And you guys you're not gonna miss it. You'll see what we're doing really, really soon. But I'm under NDA, so I can't say too much.
Well, are
But
wigs
I'm
gonna at
super
least come off?
excited.
I hope no one's like hair pieces and wigs pop off or some shit, because that's painful. I have to tell you.
Well, there'll be some of that because they're in his actual real life shit. There's some tea. There's some people in the house that really got problems with each other. People in the house that actually want to fucking love each other. So this will be very interesting. And so far, we've been having an amazing time. There's been a lot of love coming from the support of celebrities, which sometimes that can be kind of gray when you're dealing with adult stars or sex workers or whatever. I think everyone's a sex worker in some way, whether you're giving love or time, or patience. It depends on how you monetize or how you think about currency. Or I think my time is important. I think about it as like money in a way, because it's like time we're spending time. So it all depends on how you perceive things. But I just know that this is going to be amazing. You get to see us normally, which I learned most people want to see that. That's what's viral. And that's what they want to see. They already see you kind of as this person. What do you do normally? Like, what kind of food do you eat? What do you do for skincare? Do you fart? Like, just weird stuff. Like, are you human? So they'll see us being ourselves.
Yeah. I think that's a very important aspect of most people in general, is not having a mask on. But people have to understand people aren't always married to the truth. So, and like I have a one woman show. There's 90, I say 97 or
That you're
96.
killing, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Period. Giving flowers. Yes.
I'm trying. It's fun, but you can't be married to the truth in there. There's a lot of it. Because when you mentioned little Kim, she and I share something very interesting in common. We once had the same lawyer, but the difference is, like, the saying was that he passed away, by the way. The saying was that all of his clients did time. Some people got away with it though. Huh?
I said, you didn't go to jail.
Well, maybe not that time, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, it's very interesting. And I remember he was her lawyer, and this is way after I used him. I'm like, I hope she stays away from this guy, because she's going to end up going into jail.
Yeah, why he's saying that? Like, hold on. Well, that's horrible news.
Yeah, it is horrible. I'm like, this is really bad. It's like, how do we get a hold of her to let her know this guy is dumb? And it's like, bam,
not the one.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, that they lie. The second they open their mouths, that's when lawyers are lying. And that's advice for everyone, by the way. But yeah, you're very interesting, because it's a different genre of things going on now. And with alternative, this is something people did not go near back in the day. It's a very tough thing. Do you anticipate any more like piercings or hair colors or something like hot pink, blue?
No, I'm pretty much settled in who I am and who I want to be. I'll probably just like fix my body maybe as things go on, because that's just what I like. Like, I don't want to be, even when I'm an old bitch, I want to be an old bad bitch. So it's just like, maintaining myself, being healthy. But no, there's nothing, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. So
Yeah,
you know.
it's true. And what are the socials people could find you on? Like all your socials, and I'll still look them up too.
Yes, I just changed my social media, the Instagram. I believe it's the official Ebony Mystique one. And then my Twitter is Ebony Mystique one. And my OnlyFans is onlyfans.com/Ebony_Mystique. And whatever else you can't find, just Google me. I'll be
Yeah,
around. I ain't going nowhere, guys. I'm here for a while.
that's good because there's so many tourists, and that's what I call them, tourists in this business, that they just kind of like going by, oh, maybe I'll try that, maybe I'll try that, oh, I don't like it, then they go, or they're just like walking around and they have no clue
Mm-hmm.
what the business is. Now, is there anyone in the business that you have not worked with yet that you want to, like Mr. Marcus or anyone like that?
Just Danny D. I'm waiting for a Danny D scene, which Rogers is supposed to be putting together. So Danny D. Oh, and J Mac.
Okay, well then there you go. There you go. So hopefully that wish list
I'm
does
waiting
come
for you
true.
guys.
Yeah. And by the way, what is your favorite food? Because you have beautiful skin. So what do you do
Thank you. For my skin routine
for
or
both? Like,
food?
what's your food first of all, and what do you put on your skin?
I like a lot of like fresh juices. I'm a juicing person. I love juices, and I kind of just drink those throughout the day a lot of the times without eating. Maybe one meal, to be honest. I feed off of fruit and juice a lot of the times, and just black soap. And I got a serum that I use. My the girl that does my face, esthetician, I guess they call. She gave me her serum, which I'll go ahead and give to you so you can give to them. But she is really good, really
What is it?
natural. It's a face serum. It's some oil that she
What's her
made.
name?
Her name is Butterfly. Uh,
Okay,
Jesus, I'll get her Instagram to you too.
please.
But
I
she's out of
appreciate
Las
it.
Vegas. She's really sweet. I'll get her, or her Butterfly Baddies or something like that. I
It's
forget what she
always
called
good.
herself, but her name is Sierra.
Oh, well, see, guys should know this, fans need to know this, because if in case you want to send her something for her birthday, it's like exactly a month after mine, you know where to buy this stuff. Like, don't
Yes,
be
give us
cheap.
gifts, guys. We love
Yeah,
gifts.
can't be cheap because it's already out there on the internet. And the beauty of the internet nowadays is you actually own your own content. So that's amazing, and you're amazing. And I
You're
wish you.
amazing. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
having me.
thank
I
you.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you, and good luck with the house, with the photo house. I think it's going to go really well with your studio. And give
I
us the name of the
appreciate that.
studio again.
Luxury Journey Studios.
Ooh,
I'll give
it
you that
is,
link to us on Peer Space, guys, downtown LA. Come on through.
yeah, it is a luxury space. I probably want to go there and take a take a tour of it.
Anytime.
Yeah, okay,
Anytime you
because I'm
want
gonna
to
take
come,
you up
just
on
let me
that.
know.
Oh,
Please.
I'm
Don't be no
sorry.
stranger now.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. All right, and sit tight. I'm going to end this, but I have a question for you. Guys, make sure to watch the interview if you'd like to on YouTube, and for sure subscribe, and also rate and review the podcast, and check out all our socials. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. I hope you're enjoying the ride on Crazy Train with Jasmine St. Clair podcast. So if you are, do me a huge, huge favor. Woo! Please go ahead. Go on to Apple Podcast or Spotify or whatever, but Apple's great. Give me a nice rating and review. Send me a screenshot, and I promise you, I will send you a special goodie bag. So please rate and review Crazy Train with Jasmine St. Clair podcast. And in exchange for that, once I see the DM with the review and your name and address, I will get those gift bags out to you. I'm not going to tell you what's in it.